Welcome to Now. I'm your host, Curtis Parody, and today we're doing some interesting calculations. Okay, today's episode is a little different than my regular show. Today I have some information for you that I myself put together. Based on the previous release dates of The Sims 3, Sims 2, and the original Sims games, I have calculated the possible release date for The Sims 4. Yep, that's right, The Sims 4. So let's just jump into this, and a word of warning before we begin. I'm gonna be explaining a large spreadsheet, so yeah. Okay, I started this entire calculation by plotting out the release dates of the past Sim games, from base games to expansion packs and stuff packs. This resulted in the information that you can see on screen now. I was then able to calculate the time between each game's release, then I averaged that all together to get the average amount of time between releases. I did this for The Sims 2, and The Sims 3. I also calculated the amount of time between each stuff pack and expansion pack, keeping in mind that the first Sims game did not have any stuff packs. A funny thing that you'll note here is that even though there are no stuff packs for the first Sims games, if you divide the average time between the packs in half, you get a number close to the average release time of The Sims 2 games. The reason for dividing it in half, of course, is because there are equally numbers of stuff packs and expansion packs. After finding the average time between packs, I was able to calculate the time between base game releases, which happens to be 1,684 days between the Sims base game release and the Sims 2 base game releases, and 1,722 days between the Sims 2 base game and the Sims 3 base game. Along with these calculations, I calculated the amount of time between the last pack for one game and the next base game for another. This came out to be 321 days between the Sims Making Magic and the Sims 2 base game, and 197 days between the Sims 2 Mansion and Garden Stuff and the Sims 3 base game. Now let's take a look at the Sims 3. You have to remember that this game is still in development, with new stuff packs and expansion packs coming in the future, but the question arises, how many, and is it possible to calculate it? The answer to that is yes, I can calculate it to get the number of remaining games. Using the average time between the Sims 3 packs, which comes around to be 84 days, and the number of time between all stuff packs and expansion packs, I was able to calculate a time frame for each new pack. Now I guess that there'd be around 10 stuff packs and 10 expansion packs in total, so I went forth and did the calculations for those. The unannounced stuff pack number 8 would be released between December 5th, 2012 and February 5th, 2013. Unannounced expansion pack number 9 would come out between April 18th and 30th of 2013. Unannounced stuff pack number 9 would be released between May 2nd, 2013 and July 23rd of 2013. Unannounced expansion pack number 10 would be released between October 5th and 15th of 2013, and unannounced stuff pack number 10 would be released between September 27th of 2013 and January 7th, 2014. Having calculated all of these launches, I went into calculating the number of days each game, like The Sims and The Sims 2, were in development, meaning between the base game launch and the last pack launch. I came up with an average of 1,444 days. Taking this number and subtracting the number of days The Sims 3 had already been in development meant that there were 184 days left for The Sims 3. Using this number, I was able to find which unannounced packs would actually fit within this time frame. I found that unannounced stuff pack 8 and unannounced EP and SP number 9 would all fit. The 10th ones would not. This means that by my calculations, there would be 9 expansion packs and 9 stuff packs for The Sims 3. This turned out to be a very funny occurrence, because if you look at how many expansion packs were released for The Sims, Sims 2, and now possible Sims 3, it goes 7, 8, and 9, which is very interesting. Now, using the average time between base games, which comes to 1,703 days, and The Sims 3 release date, I could calculate one possible release date for The Sims 4. But I also looked at the average time between the last pack for a game and the next base game, which came out to be 259 days, and using the unannounced stuff pack number 9 as the last pack for The Sims 3, I came up with another possible release date. This means that The Sims 4 has a possible release window between January 30th and April 8th of 2014, or the first part of 2014. This would be a great time for them to actually launch a new game, considering they would probably announce it 6 or so months ahead of time, so in the summer, then allow people to pre-order it through the Christmas holidays and release it in the first half of 2014. It's interesting to think about this, but it follows the same sort of model as the SimCity game being released soon. And if you remember back, the original release date for The Sims 3 was in February, so this is all an interesting coincidence. But if you think we're done, you are wrong. There is something more that I thought I should calculate. Remembering back now to how I calculated the remaining unannounced stuff packs and expansion packs, I wondered, could I actually apply those calculations to already released expansion packs and stuff packs? So I went over and did it. I calculated the release date ranges for Seasons, Supernatural, Showtime, Pets, Diesel, Katy Perry, Master Suite, and Town Life. I then looked to see if these releases were within the timeframes I had calculated. The surprising answer was no. Many did not. Only 1/4 of them actually did. This is a result of me basing all of my calculations on averages, so there is bound to be inconsistencies. So looking at this information, I decided to correct my calculations so more games would actually fit within my ranges. I calculated the number of days under and over the releases, took those numbers and added them to my calculations to come up with new release date ranges. Another surprising fact is that even after the added days, the number of unannounced expansion packs and stuff packs stayed the same. And after applying the new calculations to the already released packs, I came out with 3/4 now falling within the correct times. So using the new information, I went back to calculate the Sims 4 release date based on this information. First calculation stays the same because the information is not changed for it, but the second one does change. Using the same information between the last expansion pack or stuff pack release and the base game, but a new last pack release date, I came out with a plausible launch date of May 4th, 2014, close to 1 month later than I had originally calculated, meaning the window in which this game would launch is still the beginning of 2014. So there you go. In the end, I predict that The Sims 4 will be released at the beginning of 2014, after 2 more stuff packs and 1 more expansion pack for The Sims 3. The big question here though is, are these calculations going to be right? Well, for right now, it's impossible to say. This information is based on averages between games and base games, so it's hard to say if EA will keep a similar release schedule in the future. But it is interesting to find the time between game packs is close to 84 days each time, accounting for the division of the first game packs. Only time will tell if this is correct. If you want to view this document in its entirety, you can visit my website. There is a link to it in the description below. So after all this crazy information, I want to know, what do you think? Do you believe my calculations for The Sims 4 release date? Yes or no, and why? Tell me in the comment section below, or you can let me know on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Links to all that and more in the description below. When you're done commenting, why not click the subscribe button in that corner right there? Then all of the newest episodes of Now will get sent straight to you. Then don't forget to click the like button because you like this video, you like the content in it, or you liked me. One of the 3. I'm Curtis Parody, and that's what's happening now.